Hi everybody. I'm back. I'm back. I'm just popping on really. It feels like freaking forever since I filmed anything. So I owe you guys a huge apology. I didn't mean to ghost you, and I certainly didn't mean to disappear for as long as I did. And it's gonna be a little bit longer, but I wanted to kind of explain to you. I honestly didn't even think that anybody would really notice. I was starting to feel like, does it even matter? Does anybody actually, and I think I was stepping away from watching other YouTube videos too. So I think as kind of I was in that era of stepping back, I don't know, I felt like maybe you guys were too. There's a thing with YouTube, when I first started this journey almost 3 years ago. Has it been 3 years? I don't remember. It seems like a long time, right? It seems like I've been on YouTube for a long time. And yet I still have so much to learn, right? And so when I first started YouTube, I felt like, well, I didn't feel like, they said, in order to be considered a real YouTube channel, a monetized channel, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views. And then you can be considered to become a monetized channel. Well, I was surprised when I would start to see like ads pop up before my videos, because I'm not a monetized channel. So those ads are just things that YouTube, I guess, just puts out there. Yay for that. But I felt like when I first started this channel, oh my gosh, there's a fly in here. I felt like when I first started this channel that I would do a lifestyle channel, and I felt like there were so many people that enjoyed when I would travel, because I travel for work. So when I travel and I would say, you know, hopping from this airport to this airport to this airport, and people would be like, wow, that's so much fun, and you fly more than flight attendants do, and you know, all of that. And I was going to places that people that were stuck at home just would never go to. It was a different lifestyle. So I thought between that, between some of my other hobbies, my extracurricular Second Amendment hobbies, and the kids and the do-it-yourself projects I would do at the house, I thought, wow, I have enough that I can just put content out there. And then COVID. And when COVID hit, it was like, okay, well, all the things that I normally did, the travel, the whatever, that was all gone, right? So then I became largely just a beauty channel, and I've always loved beauty. I've always loved makeup and fashion, and I've never been really good at the fashion, but I mean, I'm wearing literally a Mixtape t-shirt right now. I've started wearing t-shirts recently, not even during COVID. Like that was a whole other thing. But now, anyway, I'll get into that later, because I feel like this is going to be kind of a chatty video. I'm sorry. I'm not even putting on makeup. I'm not even talking about makeup, other than the fact that I still love makeup. I'm still buying makeup, maybe not quite as much. I still have releases that I purchased, and they're still sitting on my filming table, which is not where I'm at right now. The only reason I'm in my office right now is because I've got a meeting. Actually, surprise, I thought I had a meeting at 10 a.m. and it's really 11. So I'm taking this opportunity. My husband's like, you need to do a video. You need to do a video. Explain that I have not fallen off the face of the earth. I disappeared, but not in my real life. I'm just disappeared from the YouTube space. And part of it, when I was thinking about this, it's like at a certain point, you spend so much money on something and you have to go, is this giving me the results that I expected? Is this the where I thought this would be? And when I originally thought, okay, I can do a YouTube channel. I see ladies of a certain age. I'm over 50, right? I've seen ladies of a certain age do videos, and they don't speak any better than I do. They don't, you know, they're not any more talented or any more whatever else. I thought, you know, I can do that too. And it seemed like most of the videos that were out there were just these really young, gorgeous, amazing, life ahead of them young ladies, and I felt like, where's the videos for us? The ladies of a certain age. Like, where is that? Where's that content? And if it's not there, then we'll just create it, you know, create your own. So I kind of created this channel as a way to connect with other ladies of a certain age who are not professional makeup artists, who are doing the best they can with what they have, who are just trying to be super women, because we're trying to be all things to everybody. And I think it was even harder and more stressful when my kids were young. But now that my kids are a little bit older and they don't need me on that same space that they did before, I thought, what's next? What comes next for us, right? I'm not to the point yet where I'm having grandkids. Like, my kids are not having kids. I'm not a grandparent quite yet. I can see it happening in the next few years. And I think that I've got a lot of peers that have become grandparents. It just hasn't happened yet. And that's okay, because my kids still aren't even, I still kind of hope they would do like 25, 30 before they start producing offspring and all that kind of stuff. But we're not there yet. I'm just babbling at this point. But I want to talk you guys through, sorry, my phone's buzzing. I want to talk you guys through kind of the process. So at the beginning of the year, I was really kind of thinking, how long do I do this? How long do I keep doing this and not even get to the 1,000? Today that I'm filming this, I just checked, it was like 906. I don't know this video will go up today. It might. There's a good chance it will. No. I gotta be realistic. I gotta think about my time commitments today, but it'll go up soon. If it's not today, it'll go up in the next couple days. I'm filming this on Thursday, July 6th. So let's just see. See how good I am. See how close I can get to real time. Anyway, you guys, so I was really questioning whether or not I needed to continue doing YouTube, because I felt like if I wasn't even getting that minimum and all I'm doing is sinking money into a hobby, I have enough money sunk into the hobby. You know what I mean? If this is just a safe place to play with makeup and to kind of see what's good for ladies of a certain age or what have you, I've got so much product that I have not filmed yet. Some of it I don't even think you can get anymore. Like, can you even get that Chucky glam light? I bought the whole freaking kit. Still sitting in its box. My husband literally said yesterday, day before, I was kind of rearranging some stuff on my filming table downstairs, and he looks at me and he goes, "What is this? What is this scary thing in here? What did you buy this?" And I was like, "Yes, but I heard it's really cool and I wanted to see it." And back when it came out, grays and mauves and those kind of berry tones, that was a good color combination, I felt, for winter. A little bit grungier, you know? Anyway, you guys, so a lot of you guys realize I broke my ankle in January. Broke my ankle in January. I'm sorry for the buzzing. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to upload this the way it is. So you're going to get the ums and the whatever else that I try to sometimes cut out. And my dog who wanders in and out and the buzzing of the phone. And I'm sorry. If my phone wasn't helping prop up the camera right now, I would silence it even more instead of just having it on vibrate. I apologize. It's just real life. It's just all the stuff that I'm just not perfect at. So anyway, broke my ankle and I was still trying to film a little bit and I was still getting content up, but I've been a pretty active YouTuber for a long time, like 2.5 years. I was posting, well, I went back to school for a little while, so I was only posting twice a week, but consistently other than then, 3 times a week and every day in December, the last 2 years. Has it been over 3 years? I don't know, you guys. It's all a blur right now. I'm not even done with my first cup of coffee. I didn't even know we had Starbucks cups. Where did this come from? My husband brought me this cup of coffee like 4 hours ago. And I'm halfway done with the cup of coffee. Anyway, so with the broken ankle and I was still filming and I got to the point where my husband's band's gig schedule got really busy. Really busy, really fast. Like I'd booked probably, I don't know, 75, 80 shows by the end of February. When I was still with the broken ankle. Like between December and February, I booked a good portion of shows. More than what we did the previous year, the first year where we were a band. And my husband said, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to do 100 shows this year. I have 117 shows booked for them right now. In 2023, and I'm booking into 2024. It's insane. So we did the whole, so the local newspaper's called the Wenatchee World. So we won World's Best Band last year, and it sounds bigger than it is. It's not really the world, it's just the Wenatchee World, right? So we won World's Best Band the first year we were a band, and that was after like 4 months. Like that was really close. And part of that was we just asked people to vote for us. We invited our friends, we asked people to vote for us, and people did, and it was like, oh, crap, okay, that was fun. Who expected that, right? Well, the second year, this current year in 2023, when voting came up, we were all like, there's no way we're gonna win again. They're coming for us. Like, no one's gonna say, oh, this little party band where we're goofy and the dude wears a kilt and we just act a fool. Nobody's gonna vote for us again. Like, we literally didn't. You guys, we won a second year in a row by a landslide. And there's never been a band that's ever won it twice, let alone 2 years in a row. So now we got to step up our game, right? Like, how do we, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. So we got to figure out how to stay up here. And it's not, we're more about community than competition. But when you have a contest, you kind of want to win, right? Like, you want to place, and man, there's some fantastic talent out there. And there's some fantastic music and entertainment in the community that didn't even get nominated. So the fact that we made it through the nomination round and we were in the top 5 and then we actually won it, we were like, oh, this is a thing. This is like a real thing. This is not, anyway. So a lot of my energy has been focused on the band, and I treat it like a business. I told the guys when they first got together and they started kind of just jamming, and they were going through a period of tragedy, and there's no other way to put it. It was a tragic loss. And they came together to kind of try to heal a little bit through music. And then it was, hey, what do you guys think about playing somewhere? And then they played it and they were like, okay, that wasn't half bad. That was a lot of fun. And then it kind of snowballed, and I said, hey, look, you know, if you guys want to take this seriously and not just some dudes getting together to jam and occasionally play, let me know and I will handle it. And so I do all of their booking. I do their website, bands in town, YouTube, which I don't do a lot on. I did a dozen videos like the first year, and that's where a bunch of sleepless nights, but we did the first year because we weren't going to be able to play at the awards ceremony for World's Best. So I had to do videos that they could project because we were already scheduled to be elsewhere. So anyway, I do their YouTube, their Instagram, their Facebook, their TikToks. I mentioned all their scheduling. I do all the bookkeeping. I do all the gear ordering, like the t-shirts, the hats, the kind of stuff, that the merch that we sell. I make sure, I'm a coach, I make sure everybody's got their game face on. We do a little rah-rah speech if it's a big venue. A couple nights ago, we played to 500 people. I mean, this has become this massive thing. So at 117 gigs, you do the math, and you would think, okay, they'll like one every 3 days or so. There was a week in June that I think we played 11 out of 13 days. And right now we're in a period where, let me just look at my calendar. This period that we're looking at right now, we played, okay, so here's fun. So I still work, right? And as my ankle healed, I'll get back to it in a second. As my ankle healed, I got back into traveling for work. So as I'm traveling for work, like I was in Phoenix last week, and I had to do basically 2 weeks worth of meetings in 1 week because I'd missed so much time with my ankle and I couldn't fly. There was, you know, the fear of blood clots and all that kind of stuff. So I was trying to do like 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week. I did this crazy schedule where I think like even on Sunday, I drove to Seattle to fly out of Seattle because the local regional airport, I couldn't get the flight out that was gonna work to get as many meetings as I had to get done. So we played Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I drove to Seattle, got there at like midnight, flew out at 6 a.m. So I had to be at the airport at like 4 a.m. Went to Phoenix, flew to Phoenix, did the Phoenix thing, which was really all the way from Tucson to Flagstaff. When I say Phoenix, I mean like kind of that whole Arizona corridor. And then came home Friday because it was 4th of July long weekend. The traffic going over the mountain passes to get back to Wenatchee was, I mean, what normally would take me 3 hours took me 5.5. Not kidding. So get back into town, had just enough time to change my clothes really fast. We headed up, had a gig Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Had Monday off, which was the time that I finally did some laundry and like went grocery shopping. Then we had a gig 3 hours away on Tuesday. And when I say 3 hours away, it's not like you just drive the 3 hours, you play, and then you drive the 3 hours back. That would be like 9 hours, right? But we left, we drove over. We got there 5 hours early from when it was supposed to start. So we got over there, we had lunch, we did some photos because we weren't sure how people were gonna be able to travel, you know, going back. It's still technically, well, this was on 4th of July. So it's like people gonna go over the passes, we didn't want to be late. And the event we were doing was actually a private party, but it was, well, originally it was gonna be their housewarming party because this couple built this house and they'd seen the band a couple times. And then it was like her 61st birthday. Plus they decided to get married. So my thought is, oh my gosh, it's a wedding, it has to be perfect, which ended up being the bride's entry song was perfect. The Ed Sheeran, my husband sang that. It was very, very sweet. Anyway, so we got over there like 2 hours before we were going to be at the venue because I wanted to do a photo op and everything else, and maybe I'll put some pictures up here so you can kind of see some of them very, very quickly. No, I'm not going to. I don't know why I did that, because I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to post this. Sorry. Scattered brain. What time is it? Okay, still got time. So we did this. We did the gig. The wedding didn't start until, well, we set up. We got there around a little after 3, I think. The wedding was supposed to start at 6. Bride didn't come down until about 6:15. We played until almost 10, and then drove home, and it was 1 a.m. when we got home. After we tore down, loaded up, got back over the passes. It was like 1:10, I think, when we got home in the morning. I'm not young. The 1 o'clock in the morning thing, and that's not the first time that's happened this week. So anyway, that was Tuesday. Last night we played somewhere. Tonight we're playing somewhere. We have Friday off. I literally had to schedule a rest day. We'll probably go check out some other music because we're really trying to draw attention to some of the local music. And then we play Saturday and Sunday. It's just crazy. So, I mean, what did I say? I have 2 days off in the last, well, if you think my work week 2, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Out of the last 17 days, I've been technically home where I didn't have a gig and I didn't have to travel for work for 2 days out of the last 17. I think it gets easier. I think it's getting better, which makes me hope that I'll have time to be able to sit down and film with you guys, because I have the content, I have the stuff. So between my own, you know, imposter syndrome of, does anybody really even care if I do this channel, or is this just a vanity channel? Is this just for my own personal gratification? And you can tell when people do that. You can tell when people do TikToks or videos or whatever else. I've now become an FBI agent at, and I'm not perpetrating to be an agent, I'm just saying I've become really good at investigating and looking at other people's content and going, what are they really trying to say? So when you have some, you know, gal who does the show and literally nobody shows up, and you can see, because it's like, wow, the pictures look great, but where are the people? And then she sits in her car and then she goes, I really love what I do. As she's crying, I'm going, oh, she's trying to talk herself into this. Like, you can identify that now. And before I was like, oh, she loves her life, and didn't really think anything more about it. Now I'm like, oh, she's trying to prop herself up. And it's hard, you know, musicians especially, anybody who's artistic is pretty emotional. And I'm an empath to begin with, so anybody that has any kind of emotion, I feel it, right? Man, one of the kids that my daughter graduated from high school with on the 4th jumped off a cliff into the river. We live right on the Columbia River, and most of the time we get cliff divers and bridge jumpers and rafters, and majority of the time they're okay, and sometimes we have tragedies, and this ended up being a tragedy. And it hit me, not because I personally knew the kid, but I immediately went to his mom's space and his friend's space, and knowing that this kid was the same age as my kid. My son is 18, he'll be 19 here soon, like in 11 days. He'll be 19 in 11 days. And I'm ridiculously proud of him. If I haven't mentioned this before, he didn't do Running Start, which I was pretty disappointed, you know, because my daughter did Running Start. She graduated from high school with her A, and I really wanted that for my son too. But he wanted the whole high school experience. He wanted to do theater, and he wanted to stay in band, and he wanted to just be with his peer group. And then after COVID, he decided, you know, he went back to school when they let kids back in. And his senior year, he made it about an hour and a half into school. And he said, I can't do this. And I went, what do you mean you can't do this? And he goes, I don't belong here. And I'm like, suck it up, buttercup. You got to get through it. You have 1 year left. Let's go. Let's go. You've got this. And he goes, I think I'm going to transfer schools. And I went, well, where are you going to transfer? Right? We choiced him into a school, and that was a pain, because we don't even live in the town that he's choiced into, but we've got a great music program, great theater program, it's a great school, it's a small class size, like all the things, right? We made that choice. And it was a pain to get him choiced in. So there's another school And we've had to re-up him every year. We had to reapply for him to go to the school. So there's a school like a block and a half down the road, and it is so overcrowded, and they have issues. I mean, they're like resource officers there. The schools have resource officers, which are usually like county or city police officers that are assigned to it. The schools, it's a little scary, right? In my opinion. I don't know how many kids that go there. They seem to do well. The kids graduate. I don't think it has really good ratings. So anyway, he's like, I'm going to transfer school. And I'm like, oh, do you really think it's going to be better at this school? And he goes, I think I want to go to this other school, this alternative school. And I was like, the school where people who get kicked out of the other school go to. Where when you're pregnant at 14, you go to. That school. The one where I was so wrong, you guys. This is where I feel like an awful person because I was so wrong. That school ended up being, God, you guys. My son finished his senior year in high school in 1 month. It's not a GED school, right? It's actually a full-on accredited school. They have kids there that don't do well in traditional environments. And I immediately went to a dark space with that. My son was moving at a different space. He was moving at a different space than his peers where he was. And that became really apparent because, you know, he was working 2 jobs. And going to this other school and doing almost like night classes allowed him to work and to save money because their goal was they were going to save enough money to be able to move out. And not just move out of my house, but move out of town, like move away. And they knew they needed to have a good chunk of change and that they were going to have to work really hard and get letters of recommendation because who's going to rent a home to an 18-year-old kid or a group of young adults? You know, I mean, 18 to 22 is kind of the age range. Like, who's going to do that as a homeowner? You know, you kind of expect. I'm going to tell you guys, they ended up, fast forward, they got this gorgeous 4-bedroom brand new home in one of the state's most growing areas. And anyway, so my son knew what was best. He transferred schools. Because he was 18, he did the application. He did everything. I didn't even go to that school, me being a shitty mom. I didn't even go to that school until the day he graduated. I wasn't even sure where it was. He handled all this and I was like, you know what? You know best. You do it. That kid knew best. That kid knew. Oh, my camera's falling here as I'm gesticulating. He knew what was best for him, and I did not give him the credit, and for that I'm really, really ashamed because he did amazing. Anyway, so because I'm all over the place here and I've got something in my contact. So this kid jumps off this rock and he jumped. They're estimating 50 to 60 feet. And they finally got his body out the next day and he was 40 feet down. I mean, this was a horrible accident, tragic, kids being kids. And I don't know if there was drinking involved. They were down boating, which a lot of the kids do. And anyway, my heart just breaks for the community, but on my own selfish space, my camera stopped recording. Sorry, I guess I'm not moving around enough. The space that I went into was also just, it hit me that my kids are moving out of town. Like, my son already has moved. He's been on his own now for like almost a month and a half. And he got all of his stuff moved down there. He got settled. He found a job. He started work right away. I mean, he did all the things that a young, responsible adult should do. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I loaded him up with a lot of Costco groceries before he went down there. But anyway, you know, he's done well. And my daughter, she's finishing up here. One of my dogs just walked in. If you hear heavy breathing, that's my chunky monkey Allie back there. She decided she needed to be near me. But my daughter, you know, she's moving down there as well. Her and her significant other and another gal. So it's gonna be the 4 of them. And they did it all. They did it all by themselves. And this is like I said, a huge, gorgeous house. But my daughter's gonna she didn't want to move until she got a job lined up. So she's still working 2 hours or 2 jobs, which is like 55, 60 hours a week. These kids are workhorses. Who had, I mean, everybody complains about young adults these days. These are kids that understand that if they want something, they have to do it. And it's not that they haven't had things handed to them. I mean, I took my son to New York City as a graduation gift, and he and I had a great time. We went and saw theater, we saw some sights, we did the, I don't know, Empire State Building, we shopped, you know, we did the things. And so, and because of my status for flying, he got upgraded to first class, and, you know, he just got treated really well, which was, I was happy for him to have that. But anyway, so that's been one of the things. That was May. I took him to New York in May, in addition to me getting back on the road. So starting in about, I don't know, it was April or May, I've been hitting the travel hard again, trying to get caught up on stuff. So it was, I had to go to Hawaii, had to. It, you know, that sounds fun and glamorous, but I literally was in meetings. So I did Hawaii, I did Portland, Oregon, which is really down to Salem up to North Portland. I did Montana. I've done the Arizona trip now, and I'm going to be going to, is it Utah next? No, Denver. I'll be hitting Denver here in the next week or so. So I'm still traveling, in addition to all the gig stuff. In addition to my kids moving out of town. And it's not just that they're, for a while I was fine with them just moving out of town, right? I was like, okay, you know, they're moving in, and this is actually kind of a safe landing space for them because they have their grandparents, their godparents and their kids, and their aunt and uncle and their kids all within like 20 minutes. So they've got a safety net right there. Like, they've got family. Just because they're moving 5 hours away doesn't mean that they don't have, I didn't feed them to the sharks. You know what I mean? Like, they're in my mind, they're okay. You guys, there's like some, they're not calling it a serial killer, but was like 6 young female bodies found within 3 months. And one of them was within a couple, and like a mile, not even a mile, a few minutes from where my kids just got their house. And they fit the profile of this non-serial killer of the roommate. So they now have a whole boatload of cameras and everything else, which that only helps their house. You know, it doesn't help when they travel and their work. And anyway, so my daughter's not moving down until she has an official job, and she's gone down and interviewed, but it just takes a little bit for the right fit, right? So and they have a brand new casino down there. I told her, I said, go apply to be a dealer and have them train you. I said, dealers make a lot of money. She doesn't want to be around the smoking. You know, well, okay. You know, it's Washington State. You can't get away from somebody smoking something around here. Anyway, you guys, so point is, I don't remember what it's like to have time for myself. And YouTube was my time for myself. It was my time to be creative. It was my time to hopefully connect with other women going through the same space. You know, it's different because in our 20s and as we're young adults, the budget is everything. If you love makeup, but you weren't making the income, then you had to make some choices, right? And at a certain point, especially when the kids are gone and you're not paying for, you know, the extracurricular activities and all that kind of stuff, and you have a little bit, maybe a little bit more disposable income, you get a little bit more choosy. And I'm starting to find the beauty in that, of choosing things that fit versus just trying to get all of it. And when I first started this channel, I was like, I've got to have product to do content. Now I have more product than I can possibly film with. I was gonna do this big, sorry, my hair. I think I washed it this week. I just don't know. I was gonna do this giveaway, so I've got all this stuff in boxes. I don't know that any of it's any good anymore. I've literally had some of this stuff now going on 2 years. Most of it's never been opened. It's still sealed. I just don't know how to feel comfortable giving it to somebody. I care about you guys, you know? I don't want to do that. Why is oh, I think something just got delivered. Speaking of, I think it was Amazon though. Those front door cameras. Anyway, you guys, I gotta get into a meeting here. I gotta get my stuff done. I'm gonna make room on my camera. If you guys do not follow my husband's band and you're even remotely interested, check him out on Facebook. That's where I post the most content. Sometimes it sounds like it's a dude doing it. It's really me. You can literally say hi, Sheli. I think we call them WTFs. Whiskey Trail Friends. Most of the Whiskey Trail Friends they know that it's me behind a lot of this stuff, but the kind of perception is that it's one voice that's speaking for the band. So I don't know what's going on with my hair. So anyway, you'll see a lot of content on there. I post a lot of videos. We're on Instagram. The stuff that I do on TikTok isn't really meant to build TikTok. It's really meant to edit, film short so that I can post reels and stories on Instagram that I then cross-post to Facebook. Trying to work smarter, not harder, you guys. It doesn't always work. But anyway, I've got a stack of reports to finish up. I've got 3 meetings today, and then we're playing tonight. So I gotta go scope out. The place that we're playing is a place we played a couple times. It's just, we're doing a little bit bigger of an event there. They want a big event, so we're trying to build up a big event, which means I gotta go figure out where the best place is for the band to set up, because, you know, that's all of their duties is assigned. Drink runner, that's another thing I can add to my list, is I go get them their beverages and oftentimes order their food. And I work for the band every day. I would say at least 2 to 3 hours. Add that into a good solid 8+ hour day for my regular job, plus travel time if I need to, plus a 3-hour show really turns into 6 hours at a minimum. If we do, and we don't always have to do a 2-hour setup anymore. Drummer changed his drum kit, and that's helped immensely. We have electric drum kit now, which is, we have a big drum kit sound, just not, anyway, all classic rock. You guys, we did this, I had this idea, and I'm trying to think, I had this idea, I think it was March. I decided, wouldn't it be fun, I didn't decide, I pontificated, wouldn't it be fun if we did a mixtape? And my husband, we were on a plane, my husband goes, what are you talking about? Because we went to Puerto Vallarta. Anyway, we're on this plane, and I said, no, just hear me out. And I said, you know how we do like 70s classic rock? He goes, yeah. I said, that's kind of our thing, is 70s classic rock, and we really kind of be turned into this party band. Not really even it's not like we're the best musicians, although independently, they're all pretty damn good, right? And as a band, it's really coming together, but we changed our drummer and added in our 4th guy, and sometimes we do a 5th, depending on the size of the stage. I really go from 1 to 5 musicians all the time. Anyway, so I said, what if we do a mixtape? And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, just hear me out here. Imagine what it was like in the early 80s, mid 80s, even the late 80s. In the 80s, small towns, we all come from smallish towns. The bonfires, the drinking something you're not supposed to be doing on a school night, the cruise in the Ave, the cassette tapes, and the making of your favorite playlist. Whether that was on a radio that you had a cassette player, and when your song came on, you quickly hit record so you could record it off the radio. We didn't have CDs, we didn't have Spotify, we didn't have, I was trying to explain a mixtape to my kids, and they go, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, it's your Spotify playlist, but on a cassette tape. And they were like, why would you do that? We didn't have any other options, right? That's how you took your favorite songs with you. If you didn't have the whole album or all the cassette tapes that you had to then rewind or fast forward because you didn't want that song, you wanted the next song. And anyway, mixtapes. So we decided we were gonna do, they bought in, I decided they were bought in, that we're gonna do this mixtape summer 2023. So everything's been hashtag mixtape. When we're doing a 3, 4, 5 piece, we're doing mixtape. Really only the acoustic stuff is when my husband does a solo show or a duo, you know, either him and Chris or him and Joe, our drummer. Anyway, so mixtape has been a huge thing, and it was this rush to get an entire set list, because we usually, if we do a 3-hour set list, then the 3rd set's being mixtape, and it's really punch him in the face, kick him in the teeth, get up and dance, fun. But the whole point is to elicit those memories, those when you were young and you were reckless and you weren't sure if you were going to live until 21, and life was fun, you were living on the edge, which is another song, you know, all those songs, the Guns N' Roses, the AC/DC, the ZZ Top, all of that stuff, all of that classic rock, fun, bring you right back there. That I call it a musical ride in the Wayback Machine. That space is what Mixtape's been about. So that's been our passion project for the summer. And a lot of the songs will continue into our fall and winter set list rotation. Next summer might be something different, you know? If you got any ideas, we'd love to hear them. We've been spitballing ideas left and right. We thought about Southern rock. We thought about doing a grungy summer, maybe doing the whole ACD Black album. Talked about doing the whole single soundtrack. There's all these things we gotta stay within brand, right? And these guys want to just play the music they like. I gotta make sure that they're zeroed in on the brand and that we're still representative and we're still giving our audience what they want. We played this place last night. People are like this. All right, we've heard about you guys. We've seen the posts. We see you guys everywhere. Everybody's talking about you guys. What are you at? And before long, we had people up and dancing. So that's kind of the goal, is to have people just have a good time and to enjoy themselves. And it's exhausting. And it's fun, and I love these guys so much. It's something my husband and I can do together. And there's a lot of things that we can. We've just kind of zeroed in on this. And we still have travel. Like we've got, I mean, what is this? July? So I'll have July, August, September, October, November, December. So I'll have 12, wait, hold on. I gotta do the math here. I'm so sorry. July, August, September, October, November, December. We've got 2 in October. So that'll be 7 work trips still this year. And then at least 3 more other trips. So that's 10 trips still this year. Plus I want to go down and see my kid's house, which I haven't even seen in person yet. So my husband and his daughter are at Taylor Swift. Oh my God, you guys, I gotta get my call. Well, I've got 15 minutes. While my husband and my daughter are at Taylor Swift, I'll be going down and see my kid's house and hopefully spend a night or 2 with them. In time to turn around and get to another gig. Anyway, my battery's blinking at me. I am so sorry. If you guys have made it this far, just know that I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for commenting on my last crappy video where and leaving comments like, we just thought you were on this really amazing vacation. It's been a roller coaster, and I'm so sorry. I would like to say I will get back into filming, and I will. I just might need a little bit of grace here while I get through the self-imposed stress and chaos that I did with booking this really fun band so much and work. I love my job. Sometimes I have to remind myself that that's my primary and that needs to be the main focus. And I'm always surprised when I still manage to be successful with that. I'm actually speaking, and they still are allowing me again to be an industry speaker and speak at this national convention where there's going to be like 1,200 people there. So that's no stress there. You guys, I love you guys. I hope you guys are doing really well. If this is your first video, I am so sorry that I just bleh all over you, but consider hitting the subscribe button. And you guys, if you get me to 1,000, I will put a way more effort into this, because I'm hoping at that point in time some of my investment will help come back to me a little bit. I'm not trying to make money on this. I just hope to make enough money to buy some of the product until people started sending me product. And really, I've gotten a few products sent to me. I've got a few. I mean, I'm not on Merit's PR list. I have a code with Merit Beauty. It's not anything big. I'm not a Morphe babe. Do they even have those anymore? I don't even know. I don't think so. I try to stay up on the gossip too. I love you guys. I've said that enough. I'm gonna get out of your hair. I hope you guys do have an amazing day. And until I see you again, just know that I care about you. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye for now.